Phenomenal Championship Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Boot Camp. Our what we started out with pay-per-view when we first started Phenomenal Championship Wrestling. This is St. Valentine's Day Massacre 2. I am the general manager, Malcolm King. Alongside me is the ever so beautiful and illustrious Miss Lavender D. My love, how are you this evening?
I'm great. Isn't it crazy that we are back at the first pay-per-view we ever did? This is absolutely insane, in my opinion, that we've gone this far.
I agree. It is absolutely insane, but it's amazing that we're here in this position that we're in again. And we are live in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. You have your Honolulu attire on. I'm sporting, representing Aaliyah because what better way to spend our time in Hawaii than representing and loving and showing love and support for the things that we care about. In Lavender, tonight we have 7 phenomenal matches all throughout the entire night. We're going to see high impact action, and I am super excited for the main event. Lavender, we get to see the Infinity World Champion Jackson Law versus the MPCW Women's Champion Flower Princess. Any thoughts on that match, Lavender?
I think it will be one of the best matches of the night. I mean, there's a reason we made that match main event. I really look forward to seeing both talents as much as I hate Jackson Law. I think him in a ring with his love, I think there will definitely be some hurtful words that they'll have to make up for later. And I just think that it's a match that I've been dying to see.
That is very, very true. And we already got some shout outs. Renegade in the house. That could be a number of different individuals. Austin Jackson, Casey Riddle. Hell, Andy could be ignoring my instructions. It could be Andy Owens. But we also have Gunner in the house representing for Team Niki Hartman. So tonight's going to be amazing. And the one thing that is super important, the one thing that stands out the most to me here tonight, Lavender, is the fact that we get to see the event that put PCW on the map, and that was the Royal Rumble, where every single competitor in a PCW locker room was involved in that Royal Rumble a year ago, with big opportunities on the line. I believe at that time it was to determine who would get to go on to become or fight to become the world champion. This year, it's for that illustrious rising star briefcase that gives you the opportunity at any given time, moment, day, place, doesn't matter. You get that opportunity to challenge a champion, not just the world champion, but any champion of your choosing inside of PCW. So that's a co-main event for us tonight. I'm excited for tonight. Are you excited to get this show started, Lavender?
I am thrilled. I think this will be one of the best, if not the best pay-per-view we will have this year. And I know it's not much because there's still so many months in the year, but this is definitely one of my favorite pay-per-views. And this is our first pay-per-view that we've had twice now, which I think is really fun. And I just think that this is the pay-per-view that everyone brings out the best version of them.
I agree. I absolutely agree, Lavender. And to our individual that's helping us backstage, please make sure to tag Rebecca Kinsey, Jeff Christie, which you don't need to necessarily tag yourself, Chris Lee, and Mike Sanzone for match number 1, because it is the Apex Tag Team Championship match between the Apex Tag Team Champions Niki Hartman and Gunner as they take on Diablo and Christopher Tragedy. And Lavender, what's going on right now with this match?
Well, the Apex Tag Team Champions, they're in the ring, they're awaiting their opponents, when there's some commotion being heard from backstage. And now up on the Phenometron, we can see that Diablo and Christopher are arguing. The two men begin shoving each other back and forth. Suddenly, the two men begin brawling, tossing each other into the equipment boxes and various objects. Security tries to break the two men apart, but they fight through security and beat the hell out of each other. Alex Valencia instructs nearby Phenomena stars to help restrain the two men as they are destroying the backstage area. Security and superstars are able to get the two men separated, and the ref calls for the bell and declares this is a no contest. So, we still have our Apex Tag Team Champions, Niki and Gunner. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to say in this paradise-like city, there's some trouble in their paradise.
There's definitely trouble in paradise. Listen, Diablo and Christopher Tragedy have been working so well for many, many weeks, and for them to just implode before a big-time opportunity against the Apex Tag Team Champions, Niki, Hartman, and Gunner, that is absolutely a story developing there that we will, for damn sure, keep our eyes on, because anything is possible in Phenomenal Championship Wrestling, especially in boot camp. And right now, Diablo and Christopher Tragedy seem to have some kind of animosity towards each other. I don't know what was said backstage that caused this little commotion and evolved into this brawl between these two individuals, but it definitely is something to keep our eyes on moving forward. But match number 2, Lavender, is for the Boundless Championship match. It's going to be held inside of a steel cage. Someone please tag Mike Sanzone, tag Julian Umanli, or however you say your last name, Julian, I'm sorry. But tag Julian, tag Mike, because we have the champion, the Boundless champion, Cletus The Bum versus Kenzo X inside of a steel cage for the Boundless Championship. And Lavender, I already know what you're going to say, but who are you rooting for in this match?
Cletus.
Of course you are. Any elaboration on why you're rooting for Cletus?
Because it's Cletus. There's no need to say why you would root for Cletus. He's just the greatest.
Cletus is the greatest.
I just love Cletus, and you know that.
I feel like you were trying your attempt at poetry because we did that little seminar earlier here in Hawaii, and you thought Cletus and greatest rhymed.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
You're cheering for Cletus too, right?
I am definitely a non-biased commentator tonight, Lavender. I'm rooting for everyone.
I'm non-biased. What do you mean? I have never have bias for anyone.
I hope I don't get sued for this from my good friend The Miz, but really? Really? Really?
I'm never biased for anyone.
Really?
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 Lavender, when my hand goes up, I'm just joking. Jumping into the match here, guys, Beer Never Broke My Heart by Luke blast over the PA system as Cletus The Bum comes out with a hearse food truck. He gets out of the hearse and takes a drink of moonshine with bloodshot eyes. He rolls into the ring looking in the fans' eyes as he awaits his opponent to come out. And Cletus looks like he got his party started early here tonight, Lavender.
Well, when we paid for an all-inclusive resort, I didn't think of what that meant for Cletus.
I mean, his eyes are already bloodshot, Lavender. He's definitely inebriated. And, best of luck to Kenzo X, because when Cletus is in this state, he is a very hard competitor to beat.
I think he does some of his best work inebriated.
Well, Higher Plane by Flosick hits as Kenzo X heads to the ring. He gets to the ring and starts to climb the steel cage. As he gets to the top, he just sits there for a moment before climbing down. And just as he gets to the turnbuckle, Cletus runs over and pulls Kenzo's legs off the turnbuckle, making Kenzo hit his head on the turnbuckle as the referee calls for the bell. And Cletus is looking to end this early as he looks to hit the drunk style spinning wheel kick, but Kenzo manages to duck and grabs Cletus's leg and kicks Cletus right in between the legs, right in the family jewels, and Cletus drops to the mat, yelling and holding his area there. And listen, the CEO, if he were here tonight, he would be having a fit because he's told competitors to refrain from utilizing the dirty tactic of kicking people in the balls. But Cletus is a CEO guy, so I mean, he can get away with it, I'm assuming.
I feel like if you're a CEO guy, you could basically get away with anything.
I mean, maybe not so much considering it is the CEO guy who got kicked in the nuts, but hell, I guess we'll hear from the CEO in regards to this matter later. But moving forward, guys, Kenzo picks Cletus up and tosses him into the cage multiple times. Kenzo grabs Cletus and starts dragging Cletus's face on the steel cage. And Kenzo's showing some aggression here, Lavender. Cletus starts elbowing Kenzo in the gut. As Kenzo lets go, Cletus starts to climb the cage, but Kenzo climbs the cage and grabs Cletus's leg as Cletus starts kicking Kenzo, knocking him off the cage. But again, Kenzo back to his feet, climbs right back up, and both Kenzo and Cletus are exchanging blows on that cage when both of these men lose their grip and fall off of the cage. Lavender, what an impact here from both of these guys.
I knew, as much as Cletus is my guy, I knew that Kenzo would be hard hitting too, especially at one of our best pay-per-views of the year. You have to make that moment, right? Like your pay-per-view moment, and if you don't make a memorable moment like hard hits where they both fall off the cage, you won't be remembered to even be at that pay-per-view.
That is very, very true. Lavender, what else is going on here? It looks like Cletus is actually getting up or something.
Yeah, he gets up and he picks Kenzo up and nails him with a Cletus bomb, the spinning power bomb, and Cletus begins to climb the cage. Cletus gets to the top and looks down and sees Kenzo getting up. Cletus climbs back down the cage and looks to nail Kenzo with another Cletus bomb. Once again, that's a spinning power bomb. But Kenzo reverses it and nails Cletus with a Skull Rider. His patent double hand DDT. Kenzo climbs to the cage and begins to climb up it as Cletus gets up and they climb the cage together. Beside Kenzo, both competitors continue to exchange blows as they make their way up the cage, and both men climb over and are still exchanging blows.
Uh-oh. Guys, halfway down the cage. Sorry, Lavender. This is getting absolutely crazy, but these guys are both now outside of the cage. So the first person whose feet hit the ground here, Lavender, is the winner. And we could either have a retaining champion or a new champion. And both of these guys are halfway down the cage as both Kenzo and Cletus exchange a right-hand shot at the same time, knocking them both off the cage. They fall to the floor at what looks to be the same time as the ref calls for the bell, but he couldn't see who hit the floor first. And if you look at the phenometron here, Lavender, it looks to me clear as day, even though they're basically the exact same time, it looks like Kenzo X's feet hit the floor first. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new PCW Boundless champion, Kenzo X. Congratulations to Kenzo X, our new, you want to say it?
Our new Boundless champion.
Congratulations to Kenzo for sure. New Boundless champion. What a epic match between those two competitors. And the thing that jumps out to me, Lavender, is the fact that they didn't try and go for a pinfall at all in that match.
Nope.
Both of these men attempted to escape the cage after brutalizing their opponent, and it came down to whose feet touched the floor first. What an epic, epic, epic freaking match to start off St. Valentine's Day Massacre #2.
Very true.
Match number 3, Lavender. Who's in match number 3? What's going on with this match?
This is the Radical Championship match with Alec.
Which features one of your girls. It features one of your girls.
Southern Heart is in this match against our current champ, Alec Trueblood. Southern Heart is making her way down the ring, and the crowd is saying, "Let's go, Southern Heart, let's go." They're chanting it, and they are excited. Trueblood walks to the ring, and the crowd is shockingly booing him. Our champ is getting booed, and it is loud. Apparently, we do not like him in this beautiful arena, but that's okay. He doesn't matter if he's liked or not. He will do whatever he has to keep that belt. Both competitors are in the middle of the ring as the bell rings, and right from the start, Trueblood attacks Southern Heart with a vicious slap to the face, and then he pulls her hair. Excuse you. I thought this was going to be a fair fight, but this is kind of catty coming from Trueblood. He pulls her hair and slams her to the ground, and Trueblood says, "Let's go. You want to fight? You've got to fight." And then he says, "You're in the ring with a champion. You're in the ring with a man." Unfortunately, that really doesn't matter. For Southern Heart, she does whatever she has to. She doesn't care male, female, unidentified. She doesn't care who she's in the ring with. She will do what she's got to do. And here we see that.
Listen, Lavender, it is 2022, and we gotta, show respect to every type of person that is
unidentified.
I like that you are covering our bases so we don't have to deal with any lawsuits when we leave from Hawaii. Yes.
I'm a thinker. Here we see Raven Trueblood gets on top of Southern Heart and attacks with destructive elbows to the face, and she's cut open. It's
not looking good for your girl here.
No, it doesn't. He goes for a pin right away as she's taking in the blood, and goes for the pin with a 1-2 kick out. Raven looks in disbelief. Southern Heart grabs him by the throat and whips him to the turnbuckle. She gets to the top rope and does her Southern Heart belly to belly off it and goes for the pin with a 1-2. Another kick out. So that was a close one.
That was close. It's close. It's very close.
It was very close. We almost could have
had a new Radical champ. Yeah. It would have been 2 matches in a row with a new champ. That was close.
That was very close.
Lavender
beside herself right now. Just absolutely beside herself.
Yeah, she's pissed. She's very infuriated, and it looks like whatever Alec or Raven, whatever he's calling himself these days, said to her or did to her, it seems to have fired up or awoken that fire deep inside of Southern Heart. And let me just be the first one to say this publicly. Once you light that fire inside of Southern Heart, she is a hard competitor to beat inside of that 20x20 squared circle.
Very, very true. And yeah, you're right. She looked at the ref and yelled at the ref to count faster. And this little beside herself and yelling at the ref gives enough time for Trueblood to set her up for a devastating spine buster and go to the top rope for the Raven Cross, the coffin drop, and goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out. There she goes. That was almost a 3 again. What a close call.
Showing resiliency.
Trueblood looks beside himself again, and he's frustrated and pushes the ref out of the way. And Trueblood goes back and forth, pacing. This gives enough time for Southern Heart to hit a stunner. He climbs the top rope and points to the sky, saying, Eddie, and hits a frog splash and goes for the pin. And the referee counts 1, 2, 3. Your new champ, Southern Heart.
New Radical Champion, Southern Heart. But Lavender, let's just recap the last part of what happened here in this match. Raven Trueblood and the referee seemed to be exchanging words. They were shoving each other. The referee standing his ground, not taking the bullying from Raven Trueblood lightly as he shoved Raven back. And you can see here, these two are shoving each other back and forth. And this was ample enough time for Southern Heart to get to her feet, connect with that stunner. She climbed to the top rope. She paid homage to the late, great Eddie Guerrero, hit a beautiful frog splash. And the referee, he didn't just count, Lavender. He fast counted 1, 2, 3. It was a type of count here, giving Southern Heart the victory and making Southern Heart our new Radical Champion. Controversy here in match number 3 between the referee and Alec Trueblood.
I foresee that before we even get back to our offices tonight, Trueblood will confront us and will demand a rematch. In which case, we can talk about it. We can have the two of them and the ref. We can review footage. But Trueblood, well, you can see him in the ring as he's leaving now. He's pretty pissed that he lost his belt.
Yeah, he's mad. He's very mad. But we have a new Boundless champion in Kenzo X.
Champion.
And a new Radical champion in the Southern Heart here. Congratulations to Southern Heart. Someone tag Julie Bailey so she can see that she is PCW's brand new Radical champion. Congratulations to you, Southern Heart. And one hell of a job you did this week, or for the last 3 weeks, excuse me, with your promotional videos and getting to this point where you are now our new Radical champion. So congratulations to Southern Heart.
Can I just say something about that? I am so proud in the way that Southern Heart has conducted herself, and it makes me proud of my booking abilities that we have such great talent that shows up every week, and she put her heart the past 3 weeks out there, and it paid off. So just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, hard work, constant improving, it gets you places.
That's very true. And she deserves it. She worked her ass off. And here we are, brand new champion. Match number 4 is for the MPCW Loyalty Championship. And it features the current champion, Andy Owens, as he takes on Russian Pitbull. Any ideas, any thoughts, any comments, any opinions on this match, Lavender?
No. I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, moving forward, then Russian Pitbull comes in fast down the ramp and is awaiting Andy Owens. Andy Owens and his sexy plunger walk down the ramp, and Andy is holding their belt tight. Russian Pitbull attacks fast, hitting Andy with a 5-finger death punch, that heart punch, and Andy seems barely phased here, attacking Russian Pitbull with a huge super kick, and the two of them brawl, and Russian Pitbull does an arm bar to Andy Owens, knocking him on his ass, but Andy rolls out and back in at the count of 2 and is met yet again with a 5-finger death punch and has the wind knocked out of him. So Andy looks to be worse for wear right now in this match, Lavender.
Yeah, Andy looks very, very tired there.
Not only Andy, Russian Pitbull looks to be a little exhausted too. And since Andy is laying motionless, Pitbull takes a sigh of relief, standing with his head on the corner top padding of the ring post. And Andy Owens, playing possum, stands up and runs with great athleticism, nailing a jumping Owens stomp, but tweaks his knee on the landing. But let's just take another look at that leaping Owens stomp, just devastating impact to the spine and neck area and head area of Russian Pitbull as his face just collides with that top turnbuckle.
I feel like our competitors do this a lot, where they think they're in the clear just enough to just take a breather, and it never turns out good for them, but they just don't learn.
Listen, you got to go for it all, especially in a title match. And you know as well as I do how much Andy loves that loyalty championship. Russian Pitbull, after that devastating move there from Andy Owens, coincidentally falls on top of Andy for the pin. The referee drops down the count. 1, 2, kick out. Andy able to get the shoulder up before the count of 3, and Andy gets out of the ring and grabs his belt and kisses it. He then grabs his sexy plunger and rolls in, about to use it, but the referee yanks the plunger out of Andy's hand, and Andy starts yelling at the ref. Russian Pitbull taps Andy on the shoulder to get Andy to turn around, but Andy is quick and hits a huge fist to the jaw of Russian Pitbull. Russian Pitbull stumbles but recovers, and he yells, "You want to see tough," and motions for a test of strength, which is kind of odd being that we're at this point in the match, but he wants to have a test of strength between him and Andy, and the two of them lock up.
Middle of the ring, like middle of the match, we're gonna do that.
In the right middle of the match.
Backwards.
It's very, very backwards, and the two of them lock up, and it's a back and forth battle, but Andy gets the upper hand as Russian Pitbull lets go and holds onto his shoulder as if he's hurt. But Andy doesn't seem to care here, Lavender, as he grabs that shoulder and twists the arm, making Russian Pitbull scream in agony. And from the looks of it, it looks like Russian Pitbull's shoulder might be dislocated here, Lavender. But Andy lets go of Russian Pitbull and goes to the corner and hits a super kick to the face of a crouched down Russian Pitbull. And Andy hits multiple super kicks, just one right after another, to a downed Russian Pitbull. Creates some separation here and goes for the Owens stomp again. And the collision of that head to the mat is absolutely devastating. Andy goes for the pin, and the referee can count to 100, but 1, 2, 3... Andy, actually, guys, the referee is waving off the count. It looks like Russian Pitbull was able to get his foot on the bottom rope here, breaking that pinfall up, and Andy gets to his feet with a smile. It looks like he's a little irritated. He goes and hits yet another Owen stomp, and he goes for a pin, making sure Russian Pitbull's in the middle of the ring. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner and still MPCW Loyalty Champion, Andy Owens.
I figured that would happen.
You figured that would happen.
Russian Pitbull works hard, but in the end, Andy Owens loves that belt. And it's going to take one hard hitter to lose that belt.
That's very true. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you knew that was going to happen because you know someone who knows someone that knows something about that match.
No.
Definitely not. Um,
It's
match
not
number.
that. It's just because I know that Andy loves that belt.
Very true. Very true. Match number 5, ladies and gentlemen, is for the PCW Global Championship, but this one is a little different as Austin Kruger um, was medically excused from this match due to the one constant thing that is always driving the entire world crazy as of late, COVID-19. So Austin Kruger medically excused from the match. However, Casey Riddle, a member of Renegade, is fighting on his behalf. So Casey Riddle defending the PCW Global Championship versus the sexiest Canadian alive, King Baker. Any thoughts on this match, Lavender?
Um, King Baker wasn't terribly happy with the change up of competitors, so I have a feeling King Baker will be coming in very aggressive, and I think it'll be a really good match.
All right, well, let's find out then. Um, After that phenomenal victory by Andy Owens, we are now set to start this next match as we have representing Renegade and taking the PCW Global World Champion Austin Kruger's spot. The Jugabro KC Riddle. Across from him is a man who wants to take the Global Championship away from Renegade. That man is none other than King Baker. Both superstars lock up, but Riddle with the advantage quick as he backs Baker against the ropes. Baker with a quick elbow to the side of the face of Riddle, creating separation. Baker with another quick elbow to the, I just read that. Baker with a chest chop, causing more separation. Baker uses the ropes as leverage as he is going for a drop kick, but Riddle catches the legs and begins doing the Riddle swing. He begins swinging him by his legs, ladies and gentlemen. Pure strength here by Casey Riddle, but Casey Riddle, Lavender, just launched King Baker over the top rope, and Baker looks like he landed bad on his neck here.
Yeah, if he gets up at all this match, I'll be surprised. That really did look like a neck injury.
It looked painful.
For sure.
What else is going on here, Lavender?
Riddle gets in the crowd, gets the crowd pumped as he slides out of the ring. The referee is trying to get them back in the ring, but Riddle goes to toss Baker into the steel steps, but Baker reverses it. He's up and he reverses this and he tosses Riddle into the steps. Baker doesn't even wait. He grabs the arm of Riddle and smashes it against the steps several times. Riddle holds his arm trying to stand up when Baker grabs a hold of Riddle, and Baker gets lifted in the air by Riddle, and Baker lands on his back against the steel steps. Baker is trying to gain his breath when he hears the referee say 7. Riddle rolls in the ring as ref gets to the count of 9. Wait, Riddle rolls out of the ring, restarting the count. Riddle grabs Baker and tosses him into the barricade. This is a very vicious match for sure. And Riddle goes for a clothesline as they both go tumbling over the barricade into the fans. The ref stops the count and rolls out of the ring, checking on both superstars. Riddle stands up as he embraces the energy of the crowd. He climbs over the barricade and slides back into the ring. He points to the head, saying, "Gotta love them mind games." Riddle is a interesting character. The referee begins to count again and gets to 9 before 10 Riddle rolls out of the ring again, breaking the count. These boys are really testing the ref here on his counts, and they're cutting it close every time they're in and out of the ring. Almost losing the match just because you won't get in the ring, and that's a risky game to play for sure. Riddle taunts Baker to get up, and he stands, but he falls right back down. Still feeling the impact of Riddle's and Riddle grabs Baker by the ear. Oof, that does not seem great. And he tosses him into the ring. When Riddle slides in, Baker with a schoolboy pin. 1, 2, kick out by Riddle. Baker knocks Riddle down and locks the King's crossface. Can we just talk about the fact that Riddle is so hard hitting, yet he was the one to get the first pin on him?
That is very true. And guys, let's just be honest. That was almost that could have been devastating for the Renegades. If King Baker with that schoolboy pin, almost stealing one, if he got that 3 count, can you imagine the mindset of Renegades? Can you imagine the mindset of Austin Kruger?
I don't think I'd want to. I think he'd be very mad, and I think we'd have to pay for private security for Baker. I don't think it'd be good for him. After a few seconds of the crossface, Riddle reverses it into a pin. 1, 2, and there's a kick out by Baker. Riddle doesn't waste any time, and he picks up Baker and nails the neck out of the final cut as he goes to the pin. For 1, 2, 3. Your winner is KC Riddle.
Huh.
Malcolm, what's happening at the end of this match here?
Well, first off, congratulations to Riddle on retaining a championship that's not his. I honestly thought that was going to go a different way, but Riddle is in the middle of the ring taking in this moment. But guys, Austin Kruger just hopped over the barricade and scoops Baker up and nails a Kruger cutter as Riddle and Kruger fist bump and slide out of the ring and head backstage. So Austin Kruger, live in living color, cleared of his COVID quarantine, gets the final laugh, so to speak, on King Baker, delivering a devastating and brutal Kruger cutter before he and KC Riddle exit the ring and head backstage. So if King Baker wakes up and is able to make it back out here for the Royal Rumble, which is happening next, I'm sure he will not be in good spirits.
Or even much of condition to be in the ring.
That is true. That's very true. That is very true. But it's phenomenal championship wrestling, and we have a locker room full of phenomenal stars, so you never know.
Should we list off all the people in the co-main, or do you think we should...
Go for it. Yeah, let's just list off everyone who's in this match, Lavender.
I was hoping you'd say no, because there's a lot of phenomenal stars.
It is a 20-man or woman Royal Rumble, so there are a lot of competitors, but let's just give the PCW universe what they want and tell them all of the individuals in this match.
There's Sideshow Bailey, Mason Stevens, Cletus The Bum, Kenzo X, Christopher Tragedy, KC Riddle, Alec Trueblood, Brakkus, Bradley Tragedy, Irish Pitbull, Southern Heart, Niki Hartman, Gunner, Russian Pitbull, Jack Evans, Dominator, Diablo, Deputy Hill, King Baker, and Natty Owens.
That's a lot of people. Lavender, let's take a quick little break real quick, and we'll come back and jump right into the co-main event.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and ready to start the Royal Rumble match. I'm just going to wait for my partner here. You know what? Let's just start without him. Sideshow Bailey enters at number 1. And number 2 comes in right away, and it's Mason Stevens. The two men go back and forth, trading punches, but neither can get the advantage. Sideshow climbs the top rope, but Mason scales the turnbuckle and connects with a money shot, knocking Sideshow Bailey out of the ring. First to be eliminated is Sideshow Bailey. Cletus is now entering at number 3. Cletus and Mason immediately go at it as there is no love lost between the two. Cletus nails Mason with a Cletus bomb, that spinning power bomb, planting Mason on the mat. Cletus pulls him to his feet and tries to toss him over the top rope, but Mason holds on to top rope and fights back, trying to prevent that elimination. And Mason is quite adamant that he's going to hold on to that top rope if he has to. Kenzo X, he enters at number 4, and Cletus immediately just ignores Mason and goes after Kenzo, the man who beat him for his Boundless championship. He has a look that is terrifying. He absolutely hates Kenzo, and they start throwing haymakers back and forth. Kenzo goes for the Inferno, which is that reverse neck breaker, but Cletus reverses it into a Cletus bomb. Mason springboards off the top rope and drills Cletus with a massive drop kick. These three competitors are showing some great PCW spirit and are showing some domination in this match. Christopher Tragedy enters at 5. Christopher goes after Cletus and tries to toss him over the top rope, but Cletus falls to the apron and holds onto the bottom rope here, and Kenzo and Mason both attack Christopher and beat him down to the mat. They try to force him over the top rope, but Christopher nails them with a vicious headbutt, which is creating some separation. Right now, the ring is starting to look a little bit busy, and unfortunately, the next competitor will be coming in soon. So hopefully, someone gets eliminated soon, because man, oh man, is that ring getting busy. Here we see Riddle is our number 6. Riddle gets in the ring like a bat out of hell. Riddle climbs the top rope and hits Christopher Tragedy with a too late to pray, the Eclipse Stunner. Wow, that is a beautiful stunner. It is a move that Riddle uses that I just absolutely adore. Riddle tosses Christopher over the top rope, which means Christopher Tragedy is eliminated. So here we have seen that we now have still Kenzo, Cletus, Mason, Riddle, and I think that's it. We're down to 2 eliminations. KC step-sides a super kick from Mason and hits him with a neck cutter, the final cut. Riddle tosses Mason over the top rope, but doesn't watch to see if he's eliminated, which, that's a rookie move, I say so myself. Riddle turns his attention to Kenzo and connects multiple European uppercuts, driving him into the corner. Cletus nails them both with a big splash into that corner, and Cletus lifts both men and tries to eliminate both of them over the corner. Alec Trueblood enters at number 7. Trueblood tries to go for the Raven effect on Mason, but Mason catches his arm and superplexes him off the top rope and onto the outside. Alex Trueblood, as quick as he was in, he was out. That's crazy. He barely stood a chance, ladies and gentlemen. He was in and out very quickly. Brakkus enters at number 8, and Brakkus violently attacks Riddle as Mason makes his way back into the ring. The two men nail Riddle with a pair of super kicks as Brakkus sends him over the top rope, which now means Casey Riddle has been eliminated. That's not something I expected. I really thought Riddle would be in there for a lot longer, but he got an elimination, and that's great on him. Mason and Brakkus work together as they assault the remaining individuals in the ring. They are boots and clotheslines, and they are just making sure that everyone is hurting for certain. Brakkus and Mason end up eliminating both Kenzo and Cletus at the same time. 2 more eliminations. This is getting quite busy, and Mason and Brakkus are taking no time to continue to eliminate competitors. Bradley Tragedy is our number 9. Bradley takes his sweet ass time getting down to the ring, and I must say, that is the kind of tactic I admire. If I was an in-ring competitor, I might even come sit with me, or with whoever's commentating. I might bring a drink and drink it first. You know, you don't have to be in the ring right away. So I would also take my sweetest time. So for that, Bradley Tragedy, I give you kudos. Instead of getting in the ring, he hops over the barricade and he sits with the fans. And, like, that's some great team spirit. I'm sure these fans are stoked and will have tons of photos with our good friend Bradley Tragedy. Irish Pitbull is entering at number 10. And I don't know what's happening back, but they're just letting people go in. Like, it doesn't seem like the back is really waiting. Here we see, as fast as Irish Pitbull is down the ramp, Southern Heart enters. And everyone is brawling in the ring. It is getting very, very messy. There are bodies everywhere. Some bodies have gone under the bottom rope, so they're not eliminated, but they're not in the ring. But this is a mess. Niki Hartman enters at 12, and Niki takes no time to just beat people, but she also is getting her ass handed to her. But it's okay, because number 13 is none other than Gunner, and he goes to the rescue of his tag partner. He is trying to help her up, and they're trying to do some tag team work to the competitors. Russian Pitbull is number 14, and he also just takes the tactic of walking a little slow. He looks a little stiff from his match from before. Jack Evans is number 15, and he also seems to be amped up. He has not been seen in this beautiful venue, and he has more than enough energy. He runs down that ramp and right into the ring, just viciously punching people. Number 16 is Dominator, and he is stoked and determined to win this. He has talked a lot of talk, and he's ready to go. Diablo enters at number 17, and he also is running hot. He has not had a match tonight, either as Deputy Hill, who is coming in right up behind Diablo. They're basically just chasing each other. So number 17 and 18 have now entered the ring, and they are also viciously attacking their competitors. King Baker enters at number 19, and he has talked a lot of crap this week on how highly he rates himself in PCW, so there is definitely a target on King Baker's back. Number 20, and our last competitor in our second ever Royal Rumble for this pay-per-view, is number 20 with Andy Owens. Southern Heart gets eliminated by Irish Pitbull, and right after that, Russian Pitbull is eliminated by CTC as they work as a group. Diablo and Deputy Hill are eliminated by King Baker and Dominator. They're working together. Austin Kruger makes his way out to the ring. I have so many words. Just no matter what happens, Austin Kruger always has to be a part of things, even when he's actually not a part of things. So he makes his way to the ring. He's walking kind of slow, and he climbs into the ring, which he's not supposed to be here. But he gets into the ring and brutally attacks, attacks Andy Owens. Austin grabs Andy and tosses him over the top rope, which technically, though he's not in the match, Andy Owens has gone over the top rope, and that means he has been eliminated. The remaining competitors are in the ring that are Mason Stevens, Brakkus, Niki Hartman, Bradley Tragedy, Irish Pitbull, Gunner, Jack Evans, Dominator, and King Baker. Whew, I need a coffee break. These competitors are throwing hard-hitting hits back and forth, and we are just watching a whole lot of bodies in that ring right now. 1 second, let's take my coffee break. Sorry, coffee breaks are very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a busy match, and I am very, very impressed with the competitors here. That coffee break winded me a little. The remaining competitors, I've already listed them to you, and I'm not listing them again. But Brad's Tragedy finally decides that he doesn't want to hang out with the crowd anymore, that he would like to join the match, which good on him. I'm glad he came back. He brutally attacks Irish Pitbull, and Bradley Tragedy nails him with a Tragedy Strike, which is a Superman Bullhammer, and Irish Pitbull has been eliminated. Bradley Tragedy is still coming in hot, and he connects a Tragedy Strikes to Jack Evans almost immediately after eliminating Irish Pitbull. The impact of the move sends Jack over the top rope as well, and Jack Evans has been eliminated. Welcome back. We've had a crazy...
My love, you have been doing a phenomenal job calling this Royal Rumble. There is absolutely nothing but chaos happening inside of this ring, especially when you have 20 individuals all fighting for the illustrious Rising Star Briefcase. And let me just say this, none of these competitors are holding back. They are going for broke with every single move. We just saw Jack Evans eliminated here with a Tragedy Strikes from none other than Bradley Tragedy. And Bradley just got two immediate eliminations back to back. First Irish Pitbull, then Jack Evans. But Niki and Brakkus are sizing Bradley Tragedy up, but Gunner grabs Brakkus and drills him with a stun gunner and tosses him over the top ropes. Ladies and gentlemen, Brakkus has been eliminated, and Niki begins arguing with Gunner, but Gunner reminds her that he is her Apex tag team partner, not Brakkus. And so it looks like Gunner's trying to remind Niki to get her priorities straight in regards to who she needs to be loyal to, whether it's CTC or her current teammate and tag team partner Gunner. But these two are arguing back and forth, and Gunner turns as Bradley goes for another Tragedy Strikes, but Gunner ducks, causing Niki to be hit with the move and sending her over the top rope. Niki Hartman is eliminated. That is 3 back-to-back eliminations courtesy of Bradley Tragedy. And Gunner could have took the blunt of that move. Instead, he saved face and ducked out of the way, which is very smart for a Canadian, causing Niki to get knocked over the top rope. So Gunner showing his intelligence there. I don't know what to say about that, but I'm impressed. I don't think Niki's going to be too happy when she realizes what happened. If she watched the playback on this, she's going to be pissed.
Yeah,
and that's one of your girls. I don't know what you guys talk about in the ladies' locker room because you guys won't let me in there. Probably because of how handsome I am, but.
Oh, Malcolm. It has nothing to do with your looks whatsoever. It is a ladies' locker room. I go in there only when I am sneaking in them in snacks. Otherwise, I'm in my locker room. But the ladies need snacks too. So I bring them private catering every single week. And I think she's going to go back there and she might get into that wine or the champagne because she's going to be happy.
And you said all this live on TV.
Oh, some of the men do know that I sneak them with private catering. And that's a you issue. If they want private catering, we have a green room with some food, but my girl says they're only the best. So if your boys want the best, you have to pay for private catering. Because I always pay for private catering. And it's not just, but she's right, Facebook users, right? There's chocolate, there's iced coffee, there's wine. But I always pay for some kind of food. So we're in Hawaii, so it's probably going to be some, like, ocean foods, you know? Like, maybe I'll get an octopus delivered.
I think it's called seafood, my love.
Ocean food. Ocean food. Do you want to continue on?
Listen, I will, I know who this is. That is definitely none other than the lady killer, Casey Riddle himself. But listen, Lavender, you said earlier in the show that you were non-biased, but from what you just explained to me, sounds kind of biased. But
It is not biased. I treat my ladies with the respect they deserve.
Well, Lavender, Gunner grabs a hold of Bradley's legs and flips him over the top rope. So Gunner just eliminated Bradley Tragedy. I don't know if he was doing that to try and appear that he's on the same side as Niki Hartman, or if he just saw an opportunity and took it. But either way, Bradley Tragedy, after 4 eliminations, is now eliminated by none other than Gunner. But King Baker drop kicks Gunner in the back and knocks him over the top rope, and now Gunner is eliminated. So we just saw another elimination, this time King Baker eliminating Gunner, and Dominator and King Baker are sizing Mason Stevens up, and Dominator and King Baker have been working together here a lot lately under the tutelage of their captain, Flower Princess, and these two have a dynamic that just works between them. A hard-hitting style of Dominator and the work ethic of Dominator, and the trash talking and suave style of King Baker. I'm liking this alliance here. And they charge at Mason, but Mason holds his ground and begins throwing haymakers to both men. Dominator goes for a Dominator brainbuster, but Mason slips out and hits King Baker with a Hurricanrana, almost sending him out of the ring. Dominator, trying to save his teammate here, grabs King Baker and tries to keep him from elimination, but Mason takes advantage of the moment and flips both men over the top rope, eliminating them at the same time. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Rising Star Briefcase and of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre 2 Royal Rumble is none other than CTC's very own Mason Stevens.
Congratulations. That was better than last year's Rumble, and I wasn't sure if we could top last year's Rumble, but I am always surprised by our locker room. That was a great match.
It was a fantastic Royal Rumble, and on top of that, let's just be honest, Mason Stevens does not like Jackson too much. Mason Stevens does not like Austin too much. Those are our 2 world champions. So by speculation, I can only assume that he would probably try and use his opportunity, use his advantage on one of those 2. But listen, he can go after the Boundless champion, Kenzo X. He can go after the Radical champion, Southern Heart. He can go after the Battalion Trio champion, Casey Riddle. He could go after, I mean, if he absolutely wanted to, the Women's champion, Flower Princess.
That would be something.
He could go after the MPCW Loyalty champion, Andy Owens. I mean, the choices are endless right now for Mason Stevens, but I also want to remind everyone that there is another individual in this locker room who has an opportunity for a world title shot of their choosing, and that individual happens to be in the main event for the evening, and that main event is about to start tonight right here next. Ladies and gentlemen, our main event for the evening is a lover's quarrel eliminate our Extreme Rules match here between these two individuals. So
one who's super cool and one who's like, okay.
Wow. You're supposed to be non-biased.
I'm just saying, Flower Princess, we're very close. We're practically family, and she's just the coolest.
You guys are practically family, huh? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you guys aren't the same person, right?
No. I'm me. She's a Canadian who fell in love with the dumb Jackson Law.
Well, looks can be fucking deceiving, Lavender, but we'll talk about that off camera. The main event of the night, as I was saying, Lovers Quarrel Extreme Rules match is a champion versus champion match. The Infinity World Champion Jackson Law versus his wife, the MPCW Women's Champion Flower Princess. And guys, the stage crew is getting the ring set up for the Lovers Quarrel match as Let Me Be Your Fantasy by Baby D blasts on the PA system as Flower Princess, flanked by Team Flower Princess, makes her way out to the ring, and the crowd erupts with cheers as she makes her way down the ramp and into the ring. She removes her robe, revealing her new ring attire, her new St. Valentine's Day ring attire, and the crowd absolutely loves everything about the Flower Princess, Lavender.
The Flower Princess really is just the most beautiful, if I will, ring attire member. Out of every lady, I love all the ladies, but her ring attire, I don't know who she pays, but it always is very, very beautiful.
I mean, some would say you sound pretty conceited right now, but moving on, pyros erupt as the lights dim and shine the colors of the Infinity Stones. Renegade by Eminem plays on the PA system as Jackson Law.
Jackson Law, he's the worst. We hate that guy.
Wow, Lavender. Wow.
I'm just saying, he's the worst.
Well, real quick, while you're booing Jackson Law, one of our people have an opinion on you. That is disrespectful to both of us, but
who is saying that? I think they need to be fired.
Well, Jackson Law steps out to the entrance stage in Thanos-inspired ring attire. Renegade, the group, follows behind him as Law kneels on the stage and extends his arms, causing pyros to erupt. Law makes it to his feet as he, Kruger, and Riddle race down to the ring and attack members of Team Flower Princess, laying them out. Law rolls into the ring and points up as a Hell in the Cell lowers around the ring. And Lavender, I was unaware that this was a Extreme Rules Hell in a Cell match. I thought it was just a regular Extreme Rules match.
I didn't pay for that. I don't know who's paying for it, but it is not coming out of my money.
Well, assuming that Jackson and Renegade are behind this, I would assume it would be them that are paying for this, but we also have to now be concerned with this added structure. What does that say for Flower Princess in this match? With this structure being added, obviously an advantage has to go to none other than Jackson Law with him being behind this, because I'm almost 100% certain Flower Princess had no idea that this was going to happen.
Oh, for sure not. She and I talked before the show, and she had all these plans to kind of sneak away and bring in different weapons, as it is an Extreme Rules match, but I guess not. Guess all that has been thrown out the window, so good luck, Flower Princess.
I love your vote of confidence. My love, it's very heartwarming. The referee calls for the bell as the cage has settled around the ring, and Law taunts Princess, telling her to bring it. Princess charges and goes for a clothesline, but Law grabs her arm and sweeps the leg, tossing her to the mat. But Princess quickly gets to her feet and charges again. Law sidesteps and tosses her to the ropes, but on the rebound, Law meets her with a shoulder tackle, knocking her to the mat as Law stands in the middle of the ring for a moment before hopping over the motionless body of Princess and running the ropes. Princess kips up and nails Law with a picture-perfect drop kick, just flattening the world champion in the center of the ring there with that move, Lavender.
What a beautiful move.
Absolutely beautiful. Princess gets fired up as she walks around the ring, shaking the ropes, pumping up the crowd, and the crowd is loving this. They're on their feet, cheering for the Flower Princess. Princess grabs a kendo stick wrapped in Valentine's Day themed paper, and she delivers multiple strikes to the back of Jackson Law as he tries to get up. She puts it across the throat of Law and nails him with a Russian leg sweep, breaking the kendo stick across the throat in half of Jackson Law as Law rolls to the outside of the ring, favoring his neck. Princess gives Law no time. I mean, hell, she knows Jackson Law. She's trained with him. She's been in the ring with him on numerous occasions, so she knows his MO and she knows what he can handle, and she knows not to give Jackson Law any amount of time, especially when there is blood in the water. She is just going for the attack here. And Princess runs the ropes. She dives through the ropes, but Law catches her out of the air and hits a belly-to-belly suplex, tossing her back first into the sail.
Oh, Princess.
I knew as soon as I saw this structure being lowered around the ring that this was not going to bode well for the Flower Princess. But Law creates distance and motions Flower Princess to her feet. Princess gets up as Law drills her with a sling blade, driving her back first to the lightly padded floor. Law makes his way over and grabs the steel steps and pulls the entire structure away from the ring and sets it up beside Flower Princess. He then grabs a table from underneath the ring and sets it up next to the steel steps. And one can only imagine what he has planned here. And Lavender, I'm pretty sure that table reads, "Be my Valentine."
How romantic for a lover's quarrel.
I mean, we went for all the stops with this match. Me and you came up with all kinds of crazy, goofy, cheesy Valentine's Day ideas for this match. But Law grabs Princess by her hair and drags her to the steel steps. Law lifts Princess up to his shoulders and climbs up the steps. Law looks to be going for a Samoan drop through the table, but Princess slips out behind him and delivers a German suplex to him through the table, Lavender, just completely going for broke here and putting Jackson Law through that table. So, as they say in the biz, if you set it up, you better be careful because you could be the one that goes through it. And we saw that here plain as day. Princess, beautiful reversal here, putting Jackson Law through the table with a beautiful German suplex.
has really good ring awareness, and just like she's got the smarts, and that was impressive. It was a great reversal.
It was very, very impressive indeed. The crowd is erupting in holy shit chants, and I agree with them. That was absolutely unreal. It was a OMG moment for sure. Princess gets to her feet and feet slowly and pulls Law to his feet. Princess Irish whips Law to the cell wall. Law bounces face first off of that wall and turns into a super kick courtesy of the Flower Princess, knocking him to the floor. Flower Princess grabs a chair from underneath the ring as Law makes his way to a seated position against the cell wall. Princess runs full speed and delivers a basement drop kick with a steel chair, just sending that chair into the face of Jackson Law, putting him basically in between that steel chair and the steel cage wall behind him. Devastating maneuver there.
Mm-hmm.
Princess grabs Jackson Law and pulls him to his feet. She tosses him into the ring and follows after him, but Law rolls back out of the ring, and Flower Princess looks irritated as all get up as she follows. And Law delivers a kick to the midsection of Princess, but she responds with a vicious chop across the chest of Jackson Law, but this only seems to fire him up as she hits him with yet another knife edge chop, and this looks like it is not phasing Jackson Law whatsoever, Lavender.
Yeah, she's getting a little irritated here, but the angrier she gets, the more vicious she gets. But it doesn't seem like Law's very phased or afraid of her at all.
Absolutely not. And Flower Princess goes for a third knife edge chop, but Law catches her hand, and Law pulls Princess to him and kisses her, Lavender.
Very sweet, making her feel a little bit better. Making sure she's still loved. But wait a minute, he's holding onto the back of her head.
Oh no.
This is not going to end well for her, I fear. And in fact, it doesn't, as he slams her face first into that cell door, and he does this multiple times before taking a few steps back. So what seemed like a romantic gesture was actually a tactic for harm. And
that's textbook Jackson Law.
Very much so. And Princess turns around as Law nails her with a vicious spear through that door.
Holy shit. Wow. Well, Lavender, yeah, I mean, these two are putting on a show for one. So kudos to both Jackson and Lavender. Absolutely tearing the roof off of this building here in Honolulu, Hawaii. But Kruger and Riddle check on Law as Irish Pitbull, King Baker, and Dominator check on Flower Princess. Law gets to his feet and pushes Baker and Dominator out of the way, grabbing Flower Princess. Law lifts her up in a powerbomb position and tries to powerbomb her against the cell, but Princess hangs on to the cell and delivers kicks to the head of Law, creating separation. Dominator and Baker begin brawling with Kruger and Riddle on the outside here as Irish Pitbull grabs Law and throws a right hand connecting flush to the jaw. Irish Pitbull tosses Law back into the ring as Princess climbs up the cell. Riddle and Kruger create separation from Dominator and Baker and follow Princess up the cell, but Dominator and Baker begin climbing up the cell as well. Irish Pitbull now is making his way up the cell as Princess and Team
There is a
Flower
lot of
Princess.
extra bodies in this ring
That's
right
a
now.
lot of people
on the
here.
cell. None of which should be here, but the loyalty of Team Flower Princess is beautiful.
And listen, Team Flower Princess are on the top of the cell. Renegade is on top of the cell, and Princess alongside Team Flower Princess are beating the holy hell out of Renegade on top of the cell when the lights begin to flicker.
Almost
And
they went an entire night without lights flickering. Almost an entire night.
The arena smells of popcorn and cotton candy, Lavender. And
That's one of my favorite snacks.
that only means one thing though, Lavender.
We know what that means.
The lights go back to normal, and Sideshow Bailey is on top of the cell in between Renegade and Team Flower Princess. And Sideshow Bailey begins laughing as he looks at both groups, and Bailey nails Irish Pitbull with the Clown Breaker, that Code Breaker maneuver. Bailey pulls Irish Pitbull to his feet and launches him off of the top of the Hell in the Cell structure, and Pitbull just crashed through a few tables that were set up on the outside of the cell here, Lavender, and he looks like he is in bad shape.
Yep.
And Lavender, Bailey laughs hysterically as he leaps off of the cell after Irish Pitbull.
We did not just watch that. Who willingly hops off a cell like that?
That is, listen, this is a 30-foot structure, Lavender.
I can't look. Is he okay?
I mean, Bailey seems to be all right. He's sitting up laughing right now. Irish Pitbull doesn't look okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's not. 30 feet structure, and we're just gonna hop off. What on earth? That is a whole new level of crazy.
Yeah, it is a whole hell of a new level of crazy. And Kruger nails Dominator with a Kruger cutter at the same time as Riddle hits Baker with the neck cutter, causing all four men to crash through the gate in the ceiling of the cell, and they fall to the ring below. And luckily, all four of these men are able to just roll out of the ring as they all look to be in bad shape right now.
Yeah, I've never been so grateful that it is boot camp, because they're all going to the doctors after this. But boot camp, we don't pay your medical bills. You make dumb decisions. You pay for them.
Well, Flower Princess looks down on a down Jackson Law, who's been down on the map for a while. And yeah, I was gonna say, Lavender, we both know exactly what wheel is turning in her head.
She's thinking about that elbow drop.
Yeah, and Flower Princess leaps through the opening and goes for her patented prettiest elbow drop, but Law was playing possum and connects with the DOA, that RKO out of nowhere, and the way they landed in the ring places Flower Princess's arm on the top of Jackson Law as they both are down. The referee counts 1, 2, 3, and ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match is none other than the Flower Princess.
Wow. Wow. That was quite the match. I don't know what to say. I definitely thought Flower Princess was going to be badly hurt. And I mean, they're not necessarily moving much, but congrats to Flower Princess in this lover's quarrel to get the win.
I agreed, and let's just look at some of the comments that we were getting throughout this match. They were chanting "Holy shit" when they were on the top of the cell. I mean, it was just absolutely crazy. Earlier in the match, someone said a patented lip lock, referring to the kiss between Law and Flower Princess. Someone said, "Get a room." Hell, once they were on top of this of the cage, Irish Pitbull getting tossed off of the cage. As God as is my witness, he's broken in half, and I agree with that sentiment. They started chanting "Holy shit" again as Sideshow Bailey leaped his psychotic ass off the top of the cell, 30 feet off of the cell on his own accord because he felt like doing it.
Yep.
Hell, what else do we got here? And yes, we do need to get Irish Pitbull some damn help, as he is literally still laying there under law and order, not moving on the broken rubble of the table.
I'm not gonna lie, he kind of looks dead.
I mean, he's, some would say he's too old to be taking falls and bumps like that, but who am I to judge? Lavender, let's just break it down. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I said earlier I was non-biased. However, I have a confession to make. When I saw the Hell in the Cell structure come down, I immediately thought Flower Princess had no chance in hell at winning this match. However, kudos to the Flower Princess on getting a victory, even though it was just positioning of the body, of being able to land with your arm across your opponent. Because listen, Jackson Law, he took a lot in this match. Flower Princess, she took a lot in this match. And that hit, the DOA, on a opponent delivering the prettiest elbow drop from 30 feet in the sky, that takes a lot out of both competitors. Both of them down. Flower Princess, luck of the draw, arm across the body, gets the 1, 2, 3, picks up the win against the Infinity World Champion. That's momentum given to Flower Princess, and she still has the opportunity to challenge for either World Championship. But Lavender, the crowd is erupting in shock and cheers as Flower Princess is declared the winner. Team Flower Princess minus Irish Pitbull, who is still laying here being checked on by doctors.
I wonder why.
It was taken to the back for medical attention, but Team Flower Princess gets in the ring and helps her to her feet, and she looks like out of it, Lavender, but Law surprisingly gets to his feet on his own accord and is absolutely beside himself. He's pissed.
Yeah,
And Law just nailed Dominator with a DOA, and Baker tries to connect a punch, but Law ducks under it and hits him with a DOA as well, and the referee tries to restrain Jackson Law, but is also met with a DOA. Law is just delivering DOA after DOA after DOA to everybody who gets in his path, and Princess tries to plead with Law and calm him down, and it appears to be working, Lavender, as Law holds up Princess's arm in victory. So,
good on him. Good team player.
But then connects a DOA to her as well, just planting Flower Princess in the center of the ring, and Kruger and Riddle are on their feet and in the ring again as security make their way out to the ring. Renegade grabs weapons that are laying around the ring and begin attacking the security, and Lavender, all hell is breaking loose here. We have to cut the feed. We have to go off the air. And as the CEO, Donald Smith, would say, it is time to cut it out. I am the general manager of PCW, Malcolm King alongside me, the beautiful Lavender D, the general manager as well. Shit is hitting the fan. This was St. Valentine's Day Massacre 2. We will see you guys next week for Phenomenal Championship Wrestling Presents Boot Camp Episode 10. We have to get out of here, Lavender. We got to get some control for this.
Yeah, you go yell Renegade. I'll try to